Good evening. I'm Violet. Welcome to Viva Violet. I will be playing Alice eventually. We've got some things to redress though, first. I'll wait for everybody to come in. Okay, so last stream I said some stupid shit. Something about Roe v. Wade, and I said something about there being a messed up precedent that we shouldn't have. And I think some of you might have got the wrong end of the stick. What I meant by that is that if legislation gets passed by a certain country, another country might think, oh, that's okay, we can pass similar legislation, meaning that somebody else might have, another country might suddenly decide they want to suddenly have an issue with abortion. And that's what I meant by that. And that's also why I'm going to be reading a quote out in a minute that I think says everything way better than I could ever say it. Forgive me, at the beginning of these streams I'm always a little bit nervous. I tend to go over it after a while. Number two, my second redress is I said something about Axe, the Andalite warrior, giving a bunch of kids powers to transform into different animals in Animorphs. That's not actually true. It's a relative of his called Prince Elfangor that gives the kids the powers. Axe is sent off on a mission away from Elfangor, but ends up sort of crashing into the bottom of the ocean and is then rescued by the kids. So that's that. How's everyone doing, by the way? Everyone still here? I'm just... Okay. Third one is I think I said something about Supergirl being Carol Danvers. It's wrong, although the surname is the same. Carol Danvers is obviously Captain Marvel from the MCU. It's actually Kara Danvers who's Supergirl in the I think it's CW TV show, otherwise known as Kara Zor-El. Okay. Sorry, that was a lot to get off my chest all at once, but I thought, fuck it, let's just go right in. I also earlier was watching a video about, you know, the Ringu, the Japanese movie, and somebody said in that video, and I think this is a great point that is worth repeating, what if people just put two televisions together, like screens facing each other, because then Sadako would be like having an endless loop, sort of like Portal, you know? She wouldn't be getting no kills. Oh, sorry, it's been a rough day for me. But we're here. And I think I might do this in future. Before I start playing the games, I'll have like a 10-minute sort of talk with you guys to cover like things I've been thinking about, stuff like that. Please tell me you got all that, by the way. Did you get all that, Dion? Because I would hate it if there was like an issue. However, I know that there's a bit of a lag. There's like 30 seconds between like me saying something and you lot hearing it on stream, so so now I'm going to go through the last bit of the thing. I need to read this. So this is basically right-wingers don't actually give a fuck about the unborn kids. You know, they only hate women, basically. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, and this exemplifies it all. So the unborn are a convenient group of people to advocate for. They never make demands of you. They are morally uncomplicated. Unlike the incarcerated, addicted, or the chronically poor, they don't resent your condescension or complain that you're not politically correct. Unlike widows, they don't ask you to question patriarchy. Unlike orphans, they don't need money, education, or childcare. Unlike aliens, they don't bring all that racial, cultural, and religious baggage that you dislike. They allow you to feel good about yourself without any work at creating or maintaining relationships. And once they're born, You can forget all about them because they cease to be unborn. It's almost as if, by being born, they have died to you. You can love the unborn and advocate for them without substantially challenging your own wealth, power, or privilege, without reimagining social structures, apologising or making reparations to anyone. They are, in short, the perfect people to love if you want to claim you love Jesus but actually dislike people who breathe. Prisoners, immigrants, the sick, the poor, widows, orphans, all the groups that are specifically mentioned in the Bible. They all get thrown under the bus for the unborn. So yeah, that's pretty much my stance on abortion. I'm ultimately pro-choice. I do like it when children are born, but ultimately the right for the woman to choose is sacrosanct. That comes above all else. But I do realise it's a controversial issue and not everyone will agree with me. But oh well, it's a big world. So yeah, that hopefully clears up yesterday's thing. Because I think I just said some stuff and then people would have thought like, oh, hang on. This is the thing, because I've not got Dion with me here most of the time when I'm streaming. I say a load of stuff without really thinking about how people might take it. And no one's there to correct me. So if in future I say some shit that needs a bit more elaboration and I'm not quite clear, please, in the chat, please ask me to clarify. Because otherwise that'll be on record and then I'll be like shaking my head watching it back later, sort of, you know. Because that's what I was doing last, the other day. I finished the stream and I was thinking, oh, hang on. People might think I'm actually like, you know, pro-life or whatever, which I'm pro-life in my own way, but not in the way that they would call it pro-life. I'm pro-life in that I think having kids is great and it's good, but ultimately the rights, bodily autonomy is what is the most important thing. Yes, bodily autonomy. I also made that mistake yesterday. I said female autonomy, and then I quickly realised after streaming that I should have said bodily autonomy, because, as we all know, it's not just women who give birth to babies. Non-binary people, trans men also give birth to babies, and their autonomy is also as important as any other person's. So yes. So I believe that's everything. Now we can play some fucking video games, right? Because I've got some stories for you as well. Yes, they are pro-suffering, anti-choice, and pro-forced birth. And just like that quote states, it's funny how they, as soon as these kids are born, and they'll hankering over these kids must be born, they have a right to life. Yet as soon as the kids are born, they basically give them no decent job except for joining the fucking military. They're stripped of any decent education, especially if they're black, and a life of poverty, and yeah. So it all kind of just, your quality of life gets stripped away from you the second you're born, and it kind of occurs to me they don't really care about you once you are born. Oh, you've got a thunderstorm. That's kind of on topic though. I mean, Alice is kind of that game, you know. But yeah, so if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna end the music. By the way, the music is Luxurially and Saint Pepsi. It's the keep talking about vaporwave, don't I? Well, this is vaporwave. Late Night Delight. It's the one on it with that song Enjoy Yourself. Anyway, that's gonna finish now. Where's the remote? As normal, I'm gonna go away because we need the frame rate to be good. So, bye guys. Okay. I like to think I'm dealing with the anxiety I normally get when I'm streaming like a lot better than I normally do, because normally I'm like racked with like I feel like I've got like stones in my stomach when I'm right before streaming. Okay. I wondered what was going on then. It turns out I hadn't actually plugged in the capture card. There we go. 2 minutes and we should be up and running. As soon as it's loaded on the capture card, then I know that it'll be able to go in OBS. And then we can have story time while I play Alice. I mean, it's kind of small world problems today, because like I know that just what I've been just talking about is actually like a big issue right now for a lot of people. You know, the reproductive rights are under threat, and I'm gonna start bitching about like Pokemon, lenticular Pokemon things that they have a binder and it's made of absolute shit. I'll go over it all. But yeah, so yes, I do realise that my luck with Pokemon and Royal Mail is not on par with. No, that's me again. Hello. I made that mistake before, haven't I? I don't know if it did add me then, but if it did, then sorry about that. Also sorry about the kids making a load of noise. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm still new to all this. I hear cow noises, which usually means there's a child out there kicking a ball. They make cow noises for some reason. Direct sound. For some reason I'm not getting the window. Okay, let's try this another way. It's not doing the thing. And because of the way OBS works, I can't really close it. If I close OBS, the stream ends, but I think I might need to restart OBS to get the game. Well done. I open a stream perfectly for the first time in my miserable life. And now we've got this. Yeah, well, now I've plugged it in and it's not showing up still, so... it was all going way too well, I think. Oh Christ! I've just had enough of all the stress, to be honest. Well, I think you might have to make a separate thumbnail for me, you know, my thoughts on Roe v. Wade or something, because I can't really have this as part 2 if it's going to keep on. Yep. So the game software is doing it, but OBS has decided not to. Fucking wonderful.